Welcome to the New Normal Podcast. I want to tell everybody thank y'all for tuning in. What is that?
That's my phone.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Y'all make sure y'all like the video, share the video, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. Hey, we got a good one today. We're gonna be talking about Diddy and the trial and Cassie testimony. We're gonna be talking about Tory Lanez getting stabbed, and we're gonna talk about the KKK getting stabbed. I see we got a lot of people already in the door over there on X. If y'all watching right now on X, y'all come over on to YouTube, subscribe, put in the comment section where y'all watching from. Do y'all think Diddy going to jail? Do you not? Put a 1 if you think Diddy going to jail in the comment section. Put a 2 if you don't think he going to jail. Do you think Cassie was a victim? Is she a villain? Was she a willing participant? Does she have Stockholm syndrome? We got so many questions to ask when it comes to this trial.
Indeed. Yes, shout out to y'all for tuning in. Twitter, X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We appreciate y'all. This is gonna be one of these OJ Simpson type trials. I can tell. This is gonna be one of those. So. It's gonna be a documentary after the trial is over. They're gonna do that. They already been doing the documentary pre-trial. On Diddy. I think this is gonna be one of those that's gonna go in the history books. When you're looking at the details, it's some of this stuff that's being exposed is stuff that is you really can't make it up.
Right.
Like, and to have your children, loved ones witness, and pretty much it's like your diary is being exposed to the world on what your kinks are, what your desires are, what your behaviors have been.
Yeah.
How do people come back from that? Like, if you find out that I like another, and I know we'll get to that detail, as a family, you come back, let's say you beat this. How you come back in the world? How do I welcome you, knowing I know all your intimate details about you, seeing how you treat women, how you interact with women, whether or not, because what he did is subjected to people saying that he need to go to jail, but what the trial shows is more of abuse versus the trafficking portion.
Yeah, I think it's showing more abuse than anything. I'm gonna say this. From what I've seen and stuff, I just don't think. And I'm talking about before the trial. What I seen before the trial, and how a lot of people already Trump Diddy up to be this sexual perverted person already, and still was kind of messing with him until the tape came out of him beating Cassie.
Yeah,
I think most people still gonna probably rock with Diddy, because it's got a thing. You gotta think about this. He still is a mogul. He still represents a lot of stuff. He has, a nasty, freaky sexual proclivity about himself, kinks and shit like that. And I think we all kind of trump up that people that's rich and famous, they ain't got nothing but time to be on different drugs, alcohol, fucking each other and shit like that. They ain't got no but time on their hands, so they do a lot of weird stuff. So, like, even when we talk about homosexuality, that's why when you look through history, when they talk about gay shit, most motherfuckers that was gay was rich because they had time to be gay. Like, you ain't got time to be worried about, stuff that's going on. You got to feed your family, go to work and stuff like that. You ain't even got a chance to really explore who you are sexually.
I think, like I said, I had this conversation a few years ago. People get they sexed out. They're oversexed to the point that when you get a man of power or anybody, when you even look at the teachers, some of these teachers are beautiful women.
Yeah.
And it's a theory that I have that if you give a person, not give them, but if they experience too much power from a sexual dynamic, they plateau off. It's no regular sex ain't regular no more. This is boring. They don't even want to do regular passionate, because it's really like a gesture of affection with your woman.
Right.
You do that so much, or if a woman do that so much, you start seeing the behavior where they don't want to be approached. Now they want to do the approaching. They want to do the extreme versions of sex. They want to have this extreme dynamic because it's foreign to them. The regular, okay, I can get dudes to approach me all the time for sex. I can have as much regular sex as I want. After a while, if they do it so much, it's no longer pleasing to them. They have to take it up a notch. It pretty much opening up Pandora's box.
So I was talking to my wife about this trial, right?
Yeah.
She said the wildest shit about this whole Diddy trial to her was Cassie saying she got 9 albums. And we
oh yeah, because he signed to a 10-album deal, right?
Or something. They
said,
She said, bitch, you been recording music and we still ain't heard this shit. Like, and so they were saying that she was saying that the freak hours was so overwhelming. It just like I guess took her drive or her energy to be able to even record music at the time. But they said my wife said 9 albums and you ain't get the chance to release them. Fuck the 6 because like I said, we've already knew that Diddy was this freaky dude, right? But what was crazy is a lot of stuff that came out to the lead up, like that video I sent you. Or that dude that shut up the Trump Hotel.
Oh yeah, the
get
white
into
guy.
the interrogation room and be like, yeah, I be having sex with Diddy and Cassie, and they gave me herpes, and Diddy pays me to sleep with her. And the guys in the interrogation room, like, what are you talking about? We not even you just shot the Trump Hotel.
He was exposing a lot of stuff. He, like I said, he mentioned a few people. Obama,
right?
It's a long video.
Right.
I should have put the it's too long to clip it because I had to see what parts to go in and clip. But yeah, there was a few years ago, maybe 6, 7.
2018, I think.
Yeah, maybe 2018.
So it's crazy that we got so many like look. It's always, I guess, like a fall, like a little drippage of each little thing that comes out. You know what I'm saying? Even when Diddy was talking to Young Miami, and now she like golden showers, and I come to find out Cassie getting pissed in the mouth. Like, bro, like with the wildest stuff, because I ain't think it could get any wilder. But for Cassie to get on the stand and say, Diddy will watch me have sex with this other guy that we paid. Take this nigga nut to another room with Diddy, and I will rub it on his nipples. Bruh, I was fucking floored. I was like, what the fuck?
That's drug infused. They had the highest levels of ecstasy at that point.
Bruh, I just like I said, it threw me for a loop. And like I said, we having a call-in show. We got a lot of people watching. If y'all watching, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. The call-in number at the bottom. Put in the comment section if you think, number 1, if you think Diddy going to jail. Put 2 in the comment section if you think he getting off. Like I said, we just got to talk about it because I think this is weird. And I don't like the fact that somebody can be a willing participant of something and then wake up one day and say, I'm a victim.
Yeah, and that's what blurs the line because I don't see you saying yes to my every single request without some type of fight, some type of struggle. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. Right. And it's a fight. You see what I'm saying? Right. Even if it's, I may lose my life or whatever the case may be, but I highly doubt it because you still got another witness in the room, which is the escort.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So I just don't see a person saying yes to every request. Yes, I'm gonna do it. Yes, I'm gonna do it. Yes, I'm gonna open my mouth and let this man urinate in my mouth without no fight.
Yeah.
I just don't see that, whether it's drugs involved or not.
So do you think she was a victim or a willing participant, or what you think?
Now she's a victim of abuse because he shouldn't have put his hands on her. I would say that, but
is that really a thing? And the reason I'm asking, because there are women who always seem to find themselves, if they leave one dude, they end back into a relationship where they're getting abused or beat on.
Yeah, not in even that being the pattern because of their judgment, the patterns of judgment, just what they're attracted to. And I got a good topic I thought about as far as I'm gonna tell you what I noticed about a lot of women. And when it comes down to their like religious beliefs or religion, the most of the men that they're attracted to or find appealing don't practice their same religion or don't have anywhere near or close to their same religious beliefs. I noticed this trend. So you look at the Michael B. Jordan, he's Ifa. A lot of these guys, Muslim. Most of the women that ran and rave, they're not of the same religious cloth as these men that they adore. So she's a victim of abuse. She's a big because I don't give you had no business putting your hands on you kicking her. That visual optic alone just don't look good, and you shouldn't be doing it. So that is what she's a victim of. But as far as the sexual escapades after the first one, because I believe there was a time where they split, and she ended up getting back with him, if I'm not mistaken. I think because it was a boo. I think he had just got the house in LA. It was some to that degree. And then going back to the albums, Ryan Leslie was the architect behind her music. When you spit in his face and leave him alone to start messing with Diddy, I wouldn't, unless the check is just perfect. I couldn't see Ryan Leslie still producing the type of music he would for his at that time girlfriend. Now that you'd have moved on to P. Diddy, right? You ain't getting, because again they say you was in the studio with Kid Cudi or in the studio sessions with, you know, Wale and these other artists, because the man who brought you and who sculpted you and your music ain't no longer in the picture, which was Ryan Leslie.
Mm.
So
Yeah, like I said, I just floored, and I don't know what could potentially else come out in this trial that has just had me shocked, because I was thrown away, because you know they always gave Diddy like homosexual roles.
yeah,
That's always been, Diddy's a gay man with the woo. And like I said, if that's what you like to do, that's what you like to do. But at the same time, they do this form of buck breaking in the industry too.
yeah,
And I think that's predatory in itself, to where we have, you know, young aspiring artists not really knowing the tricks of the trade, or the tactics that are used to make you submit or do what they want you to do, or putting drugs on you, or you know, inviting you to these parties, getting you loose, and then next thing you know, a nigga trying to stick his dick in you. So it's like, hey, you want this contract, you want to get signed, you got to do X, Y, and Z. And it's like, you be like, and for me, I wouldn't do it, but then it's like a lot of niggas out here, they ain't got no integrity. They ain't hard. They in dire situations. A lot of niggas, these niggas in the hood. A lot of these niggas tired of dodging bullets. You know, I guess they feel like they rather dodge a dick than dodge a bullet. So they'll rather, you know, get up there with Diddy, and at least they making money. At least they can feed their family. At least they can, you know, put food on the table and buy their mama's house. So they think.
man, you just look at the length of the rumors that circulated. Why did it take this silver suit for an investigation to be launched if these rumors have already been circulating where he abused this guy? You see the people coming out in the fray. Why did it take such long? Not even to prosecute or charge him. It wasn't even showing an investigation was going on prior to this. This investigation should have been going on before 2020, 2021, 2022.
Right. So but that kind of go back to the thing. Well, Diddy might be plugged in somewhere.
I know he plugged in. That's why it's a power trip, because when you all start to see this tumble down after that tequila situation.
Yeah.
Diddy start having a certain type of speech about black empowerment and this like this, and I did this for the brand. And as soon as that happened, they said, all right, we finna take you down.
Yeah.
Revolt, you had to do the Revolt TV. Stepping down, you know, forfeiting your positions in a lot of your companies that you started or helped start.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it shouldn't have took this long for just a mere investigation into these allegations, because these just didn't come about. And then the same ones that's turning on them, this is what I would have a problem with. These people, oh, brother love, all in the pictures, all at the Diddy party. Now you silent because you was at the Diddy party.
Well, let me ask you this. I agree that I'm at a party. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been invited to parties of people that not saying I don't fuck with them, but I don't know them like that. It's a party. We just want people to come and have a good time.
Yeah.
If I go to a party, am I live? Am I supposed to speak out? Even if I take a picture with you, I'm just here for a good time. I'm literally around Diddy this one day for 6 hours. I might come to another party in 2 months. I might come to I don't know this nigga. I don't interact with this nigga. We don't hang out outside of this. I don't know his family, his mama, his kids. I call this nigga whatever name he decided to drum up that day. I don't know this nigga. So.
Well, and I'm speaking to the guys that's always in the mix. You look at the picture, you see a consistent type of people, and the people that are well known, they at all the parties.
So you talking
on
about
the pictures, all the we dressing like Meek Mills. Your Jay-Z, when he's saying this is a good friend of mine, he got him on video. And Jay-Z come out, we're not associates, we're not. You see what I'm saying? I got to put out a public statement to save face of my own brand and my own fortune that we're not connected. But when I can pull up the videos, y'all are millions of videos and parties together.
Yeah, because I could say, if let's say, you know, you did something, I did something, you could easily come out and say, yeah, that's my friend. I never seen those things happen, because if you never done it, you ain't got to worry about no blowback.
Yeah.
Unless they try to drum up something to, you know, get you in the mix. So I guess at the end of the day, it's like you try to protect your brand and stuff like that, and I get it. But Jay-Z, you ain't doing that right now.
You can party with me. We can make this money, because a lot of the game that Jay-Z got, he got it from Diddy, from the Sean John, from the what look he had before. It wasn't Ciroc. It was some before that, because you know Rockefeller had the Armandale vodka. But from just the brands and getting into that, P. Diddy was a mentor and kind of showed Jay-Z and them how to get into that space with the Rockefeller, the Sean John, the colognes and all of that thing, the things like that. But now it's dead silence, or I'm putting out public statements disassociating myself with you. Now we can party and kick it together. You can stand in my defense.
I agree. Like I said, if we've been cool and close, I think people should come to some people's defense. But at the same time, I look at it like this: what is my defense going to do when they got so much shit on you?
It's just the power of that person, because a lot of people's opinion matters.
It does, but if I come up here and I release a video, how much my opinion, Jay-Z opinion, say I fuck with Diddy, don't trump that video? You kicking this woman on the ground.
It may not trump it, but because like I said, that's why I say that's what he's guilty of. This trial and his charges is for sex trafficking. So we got to make sure we're in the context of what is actually taking place.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So with sex trafficking, do you think you gotta beat somebody to make them do what you want them to do?
You don't have to. Some people do use force to get them to comply.
And so I guess this would be showing like Diddy is okay with using force like this on women and brutally doing this in public places to get you to acquiesce to his commands or what he wants you to do. So if I show this video that this what he do to Cassie, it ain't far-fetched for him to do this to Susie Q that he got flying over state lines and he'll beat her ass and black her eyes. She don't do it. So I'm just showing you a pattern this person is having.
Now I can see that as using that as evidence as well to support the charges. So I can see that. But because there's so many technicalities with quote unquote sex trafficking, because
that's what I don't like too.
We still have to acknowledge, but babe, we in a relationship together. We're public at this point. Right. We done been here, we're on pictures, we're out as a couple. So I find it hard to believe that, let's say if it was my wife, me and my wife, we got married, we done went through all of this stuff, we here, there, everywhere. And all of a sudden now I'm forcing her against her will, because another argument that I'm seeing now, which I think is be something good for us to talk with the ladies, is that I seen women saying, I just come to find out that every time I had sex with my husband, I didn't consent to it. It was obligatory because I'm married. I'm seeing that. Have you seen that?
I have seen
what the women saying.
I haven't seen a lot, but I think I seen one or two.
Yeah, posts. I'm like, what you mean you didn't consent? Or I just found out I didn't consent. He just wanted it, so I did it out of fear of financial abuse. Out of fear of, whatever retaliation that may come about or not following with his demand.
So this is my only pushback with that. How do you know that there's going to be said thing if you never do the pushback? See, a lot of times women say, I was scared of this.
Yeah.
But they never put themselves in a position to see how it actually plays out. So you can't say I was scared of financial abuse, or I was scared that he was gonna beat my ass. Well, baby, have you ever pushed back? No, but I was scared and I just didn't want to go there. Well, baby, you never crossed the line to even see what type of nigga you really got. So you can't say you scared of something that ain't even there. Now, if you said, hey, we had this one occasion where I did disagree and then he financially abused me or he kicked my ass, and now I do it every time because I don't want to get my ass kicked, that's totally different than you just making up some shit, you pulling some shit out your ass, and now you just fearful.
Now I would say
this. I don't mean cut you. I really hate that we allow people, especially women, to just make up shit out of fear. I'm like I just posted this. 1 minute y'all strong black women, and then the next minute y'all motherfucking damsels in distress with Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
Make up y'all fucking mind. Y'all, 1 minute y'all don't need a nigga, y'all twerking, y'all listen to Sexy Red, Glorilla, and all of this, where you breaking a nigga pockets. We just watched a video of 2 girls trying to run a nigga pocket, and now these niggas running to her defense because he done knocked her out. Yes. Like, I'm so tired that women can get on here and just say the stupidest, most outlandish shit, and we listen to them. We're getting to the point where we're listening to whores.
This is why I say, when they find those technicalities, don't just find the technicalities in the loopholes in the law. If you're going to do that, you need to find all the loopholes again. How did you come into contact with him? How long have you been in contact with him? Right. We need to get all the intricate details now, because you got these intricate loopholes and technicalities you're going to use when it comes to sex trafficking, crossing state lines with this person, having sex, there's drugs involved. If you're going to use all those loopholes, everything needs to be assessed, because I'm like, well, how did you get in this room with this high profile guy? And how long have you been intimate with him? I need everything involved in it, so I can really assess if indeed you are a willing participant. And also, going back to your earlier point, a lot of times P. Diddy, again, got the rumors of blowing up Kid Cudi car, the shootout with Shine in the club and all this. So you got examples of where women have seen him display his anger or violence but maybe unto other men. So they say, well, if he act, I seen how he handled these guys.
Right.
You know, they say he coming in slapping folks, slapping Drake and whipping on folks and doing this or getting the bouncers to rough you up. So in turn,
with J. Cole and shit.
You see what I'm saying? In turn, she be like, well, shit, if I get out of pocket, he gonna do something similar to me. Because I seen how he, when his anger is shown.
But when they go back to the saying that we hear a lot of women say, well, you'll beat on a woman, but you won't beat on a man. But then you see a man beat on a man, you don't think, or he beat on a man, he won't beat on a woman. Wouldn't that be the same kind of logic they be trying to use and pull out their ass?
And that's why I say a lot of times women's logic is only used in dire straits to get out of something.
Yeah, and
it's not to proact, it's more of a react.
Right. And I'm gonna say this: it is sad now that we're seeing being a man is weaponized as much as it is now.
Yeah, it's definitely
being a man, like that whole I'm a woman and I'm fearful just because I'm a man and we know that I'm stronger than you, more powerful than you. I can literally kill you with my bare hands. I don't like that idea, especially in the Black community, because even when they talk about domestic violence, it's usually mutual. It ain't one person that's getting their ass kicked. They be fighting. Like Ike and Tina.
Yeah.
She said we was fighting. I ain't get my ass beat now.
Yeah. You're right.
I know plenty of females that say, "Yeah, he gonna win the fight, but we fighting."
Yeah,
I be there every day to show he gonna black my eye a couple times, but I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna black his eye here, there. But I'm probably gonna wake up in 2 days later and be loving, and we're gonna have sex, and I'm gonna walk around Walmart with my sunglasses on there like shit ain't happening.
Yeah, because I would say most domestic issues are mutual because there's no way we're waking up lovey-dovey Monday through Sunday. Right. Everything is cool. We're going to church. We eating brunch. Yes, baby. Here's your mimosa. And then on Tuesday, you know what? I'm going to kick her ass today. You know what? I'm going to beat your ass today. That doesn't work like that. There's going to be signs and examples of this person's aggression and proclivity to whoop some ass, whether it's male or female. And at that moment, the moment you identify, this person may be an abuser, that's hey, it's time to go.
I agree.
You don't sit in that for no 10 years. I'm sorry. You do not sit in there for 10 years with no prior reports, even if he's plugged in and powerful. You don't have any attempts, no videos, nobody, hey friend, well, you go do it. He don't even know you my friend, but I need help. We got all these hotlines and resources for battered women. We got a bunch of that. And again, for there not to be any prior investigation into his antics up until this, it doesn't make sense. But he's guilty of the abuse. But the sex trafficking is what I'm focused on. Well, he going state to state doing this with his woman, even if he getting a prostitute or whatever. I don't see this there because they're both doing it. And it wasn't no one off. It was multiple occasions.
And see, like I said, this is what we got to go back to. Well, first of all, what you was talking about for 10 years, what I always say that, hey, that's just another day at work for Cassie. Her getting her ass beat is another day at work. That's all it is. It ain't nothing special, nothing more, nothing less. This is what she signed up for, and she want to get her ass beat. Yeah. And when I say, she want to, I literally mean she want to. And I'm always establish my position when I talk about a lot of stuff like this. I am a professional victim blamer. Like, I don't think you get in a lot of these situations just because you don't just date a nigga and he beat your ass for 10 years. No, the first time you got your ass beat was the first time you should have lived. Now, if you consistently get your ass beat, you're part of the problem, baby. I can't just sit there and be like, oh, you ain't got no restraining orders, you ain't got no police reports, you ain't got none of this. We just got to take your word for it. And honestly, we would not be here if that fucking tape didn't come out.
Yeah, and that's why I say I like to look at the breadcrumbs and like, hey, do you have any evidence that you got out? Because again, I got to go back and double check. And like I said, this is gonna be a case we'll be tracking through the duration. Yeah, there was a period in which they separated. If you can get, because I think one of the things they say the hardest thing for a woman to do is to get away from an abuser because quote unquote emotional connection or danger, on their life or whatever the case may be. But if you have no attempts to leave, you don't have no messages, this is what I sent to my friend on this date, explaining what I'm enduring with him. This is the attempt, or this is how many times I went to the police, whether because they was in and out of state. You didn't have to go straight to the NYPD. You was in LA, you could have snuck to LAPD. You was in Miami, you could have went to Florida, you could have went to a bunch of different precincts. It didn't have to just be NYPD.
And so let's talk about this. So I posted earlier Cassie was a willing participant, but she didn't read the fine print, right?
Yeah.
I would have so many women in my comment section with this one line. Y'all just don't understand.
I see that a lot too. Yeah.
Logic, it don't take a lot of understanding. Like, and this is what we've got. Well, this is where we've gotten to in today's society. We got to trivialize every fucking thing. We have to trivialize so fucking much. We got to have dissertations about shit. We got to have fucking think pieces about shit. Bitch, it ain't that motherfucking deep. Bitch, a nigga black your eye, bitch, you staying or you leaving. It ain't about you didn't love yourself. It ain't about none of that. It ain't about nothing. If you like getting your eye black, you just like getting your eye black. Let's call it like it is. Because some women honestly feel like that's part of the masculinity they be seeking. If we talk about it, some women they think that's part of masculinity. They think that's part of being a man. That's a part of a man asserting his dominance in that relationship. A lot of times when women be talking about, oh, I need a nigga that can handle me, a lot of times they really be talking about getting their ass beat.
And we seen clips of women saying, I was raised, seeing my mama, aunties get abused. I didn't think that he loved me unless he put his hand,
I got an aunt that has told the family that while she stayed with a nigga, she said, I didn't think the nigga didn't love me because he didn't put his hands on me. She would provoke him until he started beating her ass, and then she will she said he'll beat my ass, and then we'll have really good sex.
And this is the kicker because, the conversation that always comes about every few months. What's your love language? They only have 5. There's way more because some women's love language is toxic, is aggression, is violence, because that's all they seen. There's no way a woman can come up in an unhealthy environment where it's unbalanced, it's not a man in the home, or it's men in and out the home, and the mother going through tumultuous experiences to where they can just exist out of that and everything will be cool. That's not going to be that. They're going to say, well, that's what love looks like. That's what I need. That's what I want. Mom, that's what I want to be like mama.
And it's different forms of love. Like I said, I grew up, and just my background, I grew up where the men in my family thought that it was okay to beat your bitch. But a lot of men that grew up like that around, from the country, they thought it was okay to beat your bitch. She got flipped at the mouth. Her shit getting cracked. It just is what it is. So like we've gone so far from that because they had this thing called rule of thumb where you could used to beat your bitch with a stick no bigger than your thumb. So a lot of people don't even know where that saying come from. So it was like we literally treated women like property. And I ain't saying that was right, and I ain't saying that was okay. But at the end of the day, I think a lot of women understood that the men that I'm dating or the men that I'm around, it's certain things that I can and cannot do depending on the caliber of man. Like I said, I know a lot of women get with these dudes that ain't white woman beaters, and they provoke them. Yeah. I got a friend that is a legit boxer, certified. She provoked him all the time, and I'm talking about she didn't have broke jaws. I'm talking this is not a little nigga either.
I don't get it.
And I'm like, why do you? And I asked him because I'm trying to figure out. I know her background, I know where she come from, so I know this particular female, but I didn't understand him about it. Why do you want to beat this woman? Why are you here? Is the sex really that good? And I started having conversations with him because I'm trying to understand in my mind, why do you allow this woman to push you to a spot where you got to put your hands on it? Because you're a professional boxer. This is a 120-pound woman. You a 200-pound dude that's a professional boxer. You hit her wrong one time, bro. She gone.
Let me tell you what I noticed about certain bonds and relationships. And this is the psychology part of it. When you see you got men and women have what I call attachment and abandonment issues. And a lot of times I look at maybe 1 or 2 relationships I had where, why she always starting these arguments with me? Like, and she kind of said it on the slick. I didn't get it at the time. But a lot of the time women start arguments or get into these situations because they want to get reassurance that you're still emotionally invested in this relationship. Because the moment I become nonchalant and crass, it's like, well, he's not there no more. Right. And if I'm not mentally or emotionally there, it's only a matter of time before I'm not physically here.
See, I had a woman do that with me, but she's the baby.
Yeah. This the attachment and abandonment starts early childhood.
Yeah.
When people come in and we build, that's why I'm so hard on the stepdad, stepmother dynamic, because this person can either walk out the life or this person can take this child away from me. Right. You do that 2 or 3 times. Every time this child bonds to let's say a guardian or a parental figure, it's going to cause some trauma, emotional. Right. And say, well, damn, every time somebody show me they love me, they leave me. So now I learned some tricks along the way to make sure they stay and love me. Yeah. Or I learned some tricks along the way to test and see if they still love me. You see what I'm saying? Like,
so do you think Cassie was doing this to make sure that Diddy stayed in love with her, or do you think she enjoyed it too? Do you think it was like, what incentives other than, let's say, her music career, do you think there was for her to?
The promise of success, because if you even look at the timing of all this coming out, he was dealing with Carisha. You saw how he put Carisha on a pedestal. Mm-hmm. I'm in the crowd with the Sands. I gave her a show.
He did her. Why he do her so different than Cassie though?
Because he had to pay more for a newer vehicle.
You think so?
Yeah, because you look at the age gap. How old Carisha? 28, something like that. Yeah. Cassie about what, 30 something at this point. So I got a newer vehicle. The maintenance gonna be a lot.
But he got her when she was young.
Yeah, but
she probably was 18, 19 when Diddy had him.
Yeah, but now Diddy is older and more resource and power. He probably didn't have the power to just say, hey, you got a show. Hey, I'm finna show up, do this. Hey, you get this. Carisha got her own show, got her own, all this love and all these all this opportunity. Cassie said, well, you promised me that. So because you didn't give me what you promised me, a lot of times if you promise a woman something, she's gonna stay to a degree to make sure you hold weight, you follow through on your promise.
Do you think part of why she came out, but maybe some jealousy because of how he did Carisha?
Absolutely.
Think so?
Absolutely. Because why would a woman who's happily married, with a man, but probably dealing with a certain level of lifestyle, probably got a good lifestyle, but not you looking at Carisha, damn, this is new girl. He doing this because she bragging on the numbers, 100,000 a month. Yeah. We doing this. I got this. I got that. And he stamped her to be like a bombshell. She a good looking woman. So now Diddy stamped her. Every time Diddy step out, cameras on him. So who else the cameras on? Carisha. Yep. So I see this. Damn, this is what you promised me. 10 albums, all of this. And I done endured all this stuff that I probably didn't want to do. Yeah. But I felt the need to do because I was tired of the current life I was living. And you jump ship on Ryan Leslie. So now you got to see it all the way through. Right. You can't see it halfway through. Because you didn't betray, who you gonna go back to when you separate from Diddy. Now your name circulating the industry. Well, she ain't even loyal. Look how she did Ryan Leslie, and that's what people don't talk about. Yeah. This was his girlfriend at the time, if I ain't mistaken.
That's crazy.
I introduced you to a guy with this opportunity that's gonna benefit us. You say F me, go straight to Diddy and say I don't need him no more. You got the resources that he was given, the writing, the producing. Ryan Leslie is super talented.
Right.
And
you're one of my favorite producers.
Yeah, and then you see him fade to black after a while. Yeah. He just get out the industry altogether because
he's doing tech now.
You say he's doing tech and finance.
Hey, if y'all watching right now, we got 220 people watching right now. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure y'all share the video. Make sure y'all follow the page on X. Make sure y'all repost this video. And make sure y'all call in. We having a call-in show. Call in and tell us how y'all feel about it. The numbers at the bottom of the screen. Y'all make sure y'all call in and give us y'all thoughts. I want to know how y'all feeling about it. If we're missing the mark talking about this situation, or we dead on. Y'all think we spot on, or you think we missing some nuance in this, conversation? Y'all make sure y'all call in.
And I want to give clarity that I'm not a Diddy fan at all. I'm not protecting or defending. I'm looking at the facts of the case because I looked at how he did his previous artists from the Locks, Total, Biggie, all just handling the estate when he died, where his mama, when he just not gave the royalties, but the royalties ain't really producing it or the publishing, I'm sorry. Right. And I'm like, man, you take care of your people. I'm a firm believer. If your people rocking with you, take care of them.
I agree.
Like how much, I need another Rolls Royce. I got 4. I need another one. I ain't got enough money to say, you know what?
I think they go back to the greed, and I think they go back to the nature of man, and they, like I said, who they are internally. Because like I said, I don't want to be, like I said, I think sometimes when I say stuff, it might sound kind of naive, where it might be some naivete in it because I ain't been there. But even when I hear the stories about sex and the parties, I'm like, how much sex is there? How many freak offs do you need? How many parties do you need? How many? She said one party lasted 4 fucking days.
She did say that, yeah.
How much? How like? Because I'm just like I said. I guess you need the drugs to keep your dick hard. Because like I said, about 2 or 3 nuts, that motherfucker lip noodle. Like you ain't finna. But I guess it's what the drugs come into play for. I guess it's what the alcohol and the baby oil and the different people and the different bodies and the different. I guess, like I said, I guess it's because I've never been in those situations.
And adding a point, not to cut you off, because there's a movie, if y'all saw it, and I watched it, Blink Twice.
I ain't
See, and
never
I
seen
think
it.
it's on Tubi. It's on Tubi or Amazon Prime. It's on one of them.
Okay.
But it's basically a sneak peek into the life of they meet, they at the event. You got these big dogs from fashion designers, artists, and they say, well, we're gonna go to this island. And they go to the island, and you see these people inside where you got these orgies over here. You got people walking around topless over here. It's just an endless party.
Yeah.
And that's why I say, if you looking for, I would say, if you're looking for a come up, a lot of times you find trouble because you're looking for a quick come up.
Right.
You're looking for quick access. So a lot of times, well, all I got to do is do that. They had I don't know if it was called Group of Confessions, but Cameron Dipset, they had something that come out a few years ago, and they talked about how the underlings, they was trying to get the Cam, which is the big dog. They had to sleep with the underbosses just to get to the overboss. Right. So ask yourself, well, what type of woman would sleep with the guy that they really don't want just to get to the guy that they really want?
And what in your mind makes you think that the big dog wants you after you done fucked the little dog? That's the part that always got me. Like, you fucked the nigga that's calling him big bro.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, you're fucking the nigga that's calling this nigga big bro, boss man. Yeah. Hey, I'm the lackey, I'm the flunky. Like, I don't want to, as a man, I don't want to stick my dick in nothing that I find or I think is lesser than me. Far as woman, if you let this bum ass nigga, even if and I'm gonna be real, a lot of those niggas that's hanging around them ain't really friends. They just groupie. That means they just the entourage.
And that's male groupies are a thing.
Right.
Male groups. I was seeing my boy Q Health on the gram. He was talking about if it's a section in Atlanta, and I've been seeing this, whether it's Atlanta or anywhere. And we kind of got not into it, but we've evolved into the space where we go to a party, right? Mm-hmm. It's best to have a section.
Right.
Because I got somewhere to sit. If you're gonna bring your ladies in, they get somewhere to sit, and you're gonna get your own bottle service. I don't have to wait 30 minutes at the bar to get a watered down drink or somewhat a fugazi drink that they didn't remix. Right. I'm getting the bottle, I'm opening the seal, and it shows like a level of status. Mm-hmm. I got the money to buy the bottle that's marked up 6 times. Yep. I got the treatment that they come in. Hey, smile in your face. It's fake smiles to get the good tip, but the women see this and say, "Oh yeah, she's smiling in his face," and the bartenders look beautiful. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So all of this is a melting pot of things that make you seem more appealing than what you may be in real life. Because in the club, you could be anybody. You can put the fake jewelry on and look like the man. Right. They don't know the difference. Because the club light's gonna hit it all the same. Now some gonna have a little bit more clarity, but anybody can go in the club, get a section, or get on a yacht, whatever. A yacht, everything paid for. Women love free shit. They don't want to come out of pocket for shit. So you got the access on the resource. So I'm gonna come to you.
Like my granddad used to tell us, if you feed them, you can ride them. And that statement holds true. That's why, when you taking a girl out on a date for the first time, she wanna, where we gonna go? Or I've been thinking about this new restaurant. If you feed them, you can ride them. And now more and more women talking about, hey, I'd have been broke and I wanted to go to a new restaurant. I wanted to get out, so I did let this nigga that I wasn't particularly fond of take me out on a date. He was cool. I let him go on a smash.
Yeah.
You bored. And that's what they were saying about like dating apps too. A lot of women be bored on motherfucking date. That's why they be on dating apps, because they be bored. They ain't got no motion going. So it is what it is. But like I said, we finna move on. Anything else you want to touch?
No, I think we covered a lot. Like I said, this is something we're gonna track as this come out, because what we seen, this is just day 2. Oh, it's gonna be a lot to come out. We're gonna keep y'all updated, and we're gonna follow this and let y'all give y'all commentary on it as it comes out.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna get into, you want to do Tory or the other? All right, let's do Tory, and then we'll say the real one for the last.
So if y'all don't know, Tory Lanez got stabbed. I think they said 14 times. 14 times is insane. Now Chris put his conspiracy theory hat on.
I always got a conspiracy hat.
What you said?
Because I look at Tory Lanez, he's a Canadian multi-millionaire rapper. To fact that, and I believe from what I've let's say research with it come to prison politics. You can opt in or opt out of saying, I don't want to be in protective custody. I don't want to be in segregation. I want to be amongst the people. And well, but it still is superseded by the prison because you're such a high profile person. If something happened to you, we will be found liable for that. I think that happened with Lil Boosie and Kodak. I want to say they was talking about how he was over here and over there. Yeah. They said when I was walking the yard because it's a badge of honor to walk this yard. Yeah. So seeing that the guy that he's saying did it, a Mexican, I would have to say, well, what kind of exchange would this Tory Lanez artist rapper have with this Mexican? Because for a hit to be sanctioned like that, where there's no intervention, there's nobody to stop this, no nothing. This has to be approved. When it comes to interracial relations in prisons, for as Mexicans, whites, Latinos, whoever, if a black person, I just can't go hit this Latino. I got to go talk to the shot caller. I got to go talk to the what they call it, the sale boss. I forgot whoever at the top of the food chain. Yeah. I just can't go do what I want. It's a lot of politics in prison. So if I want to hit you, I got to run it up and say this why I want to hit him. This was his offense, et cetera, et cetera. And even if I go to you, that doesn't mean I agree to it. Yeah. So it's a lot of parties that have to allow this and say, okay, you can do this. So my conspiracy hat is because a few weeks ago, maybe last week, they just confiscated his recording equipment. So one got to ask, how did this recording equipment get in here? Because recording, it ain't compact. No, this is very elaborate stuff. You probably talking multiple pieces. So one, how did this get in here? And after it got found out, it was in well, why y'all fit? What was his messaging going to be if he was to put out some music? What was he going to be exposing? What was he going to be saying? He already got, the target on his back when he went on Instagram Live that time and was saying, well, I beat the system with the NFTs. I know how to produce my music and get almost all my return and get all the money streaming to me. Them small hats ain't liking that. Say, nah, if he put out some music, what is he going to say from the Megan Thee Stallion, from the Rock Nation? You saw his dad is saying, Jay-Z, Rock Nation, y'all are responsible for putting my son behind bars.
And I want to say this. I know this old, but I must say whoever Meg Thee Stallion PR team is stupid. And I'm going to explain why. So when Meg Thee Stallion supposedly got shot, she said she didn't want to come out and say anything because they just had George Floyd. She didn't want, it was a gun in the car. She didn't want the police shooting at her, and she quote unquote was trying to protect a black man. That's how she came out and said that. What she said, right? Whoever came back and told her she needs to say Tory shot her was stupid. She should have ran with, I'm protecting the black man. I think if she would have kept that narrative, not testify, not take no stand, I'm protecting the narrative, man. This nigga, even if it did shoot, you shot me, but I'm gonna go out here and say this. You owe me.
Yeah.
That I think that's why nobody's fucking with her now. Like she was just on live the other day telling people to go support her music because she just released a video last week or something. Shit, you ain't seen that shit.
I think, like I said, because I watch a lot of movies, and movies are a depiction of life to a degree to where if opportunity presents itself, I was watching this show on Paramount Plus with my guy, The Agency, with my boy Michael Fassbender, and they would have a mission set. The missions are there is line by line, is detailed, and on a small audible will come in and they say, well, that was the mission, but now we have new developments. Yeah. So when they saw Megan messing with Tory Lanez, hey, ain't that the guy that did the NFT that was exposing we got him. New developments. Oh, we can eliminate a threat because if he beats this and he keeps going on this path, he's going to expose and topple this industry. And one thing we know, the people, the powers that be, the small hats, they do not want that industry tampered with because that is one of their number one cash cows.
Okay, so before we play this video of this lady, you think Tory Lanez has some information or knew something that will make some people upset?
Yes. In regards to the business behind
that's what I'm saying, it's the business.
Yeah, because it messes with my money the same way they did when Master P and what you call had that meeting. A lot of them charges and cases started coming down that pipeline, especially with Jay Prince, and it just went away. It just all went away. All these cases, this, that, and the third. Nah, everything is copacetic. Yeah. Nah. Tory Lanez had some information on new artists. Hey, you want your streams, you want 90% of your return without going through the channels. This is how you do it. And I believe if that would have spread more than what it did, again, now we ain't got no power.
Let me play this.
All right, go ahead.
Let me play the video real quick. See what she said.
I apologize for the delay, but it has been a very long day here in Los Angeles. And we have been working very hard in light of the horrific incident that has happened to Tory Lanez, where he was stabbed 14 times in prison here in California. It is just a terrible situation. But in light of that, we have announced this afternoon that tomorrow we will be holding a national press conference here in LA at a location that has been sent to the press. And we expect a very great turnout. During this press conference, Tory's attorneys will lay out the new, pretty large evidence that proves Tory Lanez's innocence. And Gianna Caldwell from Fox News, myself, as Tory's father, tomorrow all of us will speak on important information regarding what the attorneys have laid out and how everybody needs to get involved and what needs to happen for Tory to be released from prison immediately, pardoned, and home to his son and his family. What has happened and what has been done to Tory, he truly is the victim in this. Tomorrow we're going to prove that. And so I hope everybody tunes in. You'll be able to see it on social media, but also in the press. And we will show you ways for you to act and to get Tory out of prison. That's really what this is about. He must go home.
That's my first time seeing that clip.
Yeah, I seen it today. But I'm gonna say this: the amount of people, mainly women, that is excited about Tory Lanez being stabbed in jail is sickening.
I seen a lot of responses and they playing. I'm like, this man could have lost his life.
And Tory Lanez was not convicted of shooting Meg Thee Stallion. He had a gun charge. And even how they trying to pin the gun on him, they just basically try to use some proximity and say who they think the gun was closest to in the car, which is crazy as fuck when you have gunpowder residue on him and Kelsey, but you try to blame the black man for it too. When we got statements that, Kelsey and Meg got to fight because both of them found out they was fucking Tory Lanez.
I said this before. We're America's favorite fall guy and trash man.
Yep.
Hey, well, you can put it on him. He'll take it. And like I said, the jokes that I'm seeing, like when it's a black man, I always see from the Kevin Samuels, Tory Lanez, and a few others that may have not sat well with women, is this smug and just joking approach to these, tragedies that's happening to these people. Even if you don't like them, I'm not about to laugh at this man getting stabbed. If it was a woman, if I was to laugh at it, let's say it was Meg, she got poked up. You think I'd be laughing?
I wouldn't be laughing. And the thing is, I think men understands. I'm going to be honest with you. Women are afforded to take life as a joke.
Yeah.
Men aren't. We're not afforded to take life as a joke. But women are able to live in this la la land fairy tale shit. Like women do stupid shit like this. Women have 45 abortions and then get somewhere and talk about karma. Yeah. Women will do some most stupid, evil shit, and then on the back end talk about karma, and then add like this. Oh, this is Tory Lanez karma. He's getting stabbed up because he shot Meg Thee Stallion. First of all, they didn't prove that he shot her. It's his word against hers, and the bitch came out and said, "I was drunk. I don't know what happened."
And you got to prove without a shadow of a doubt.
Then we get to court. They don't know what the damn bullet fragments is. Then, if y'all been looking at the video, been circulating again, they didn't show, well, she's stepping out. I should have put it on. She's stepping out the vehicle. As she's stepping out, a bottle falls on the ground before she steps out. She steps on it, and the police says, damn, she just stepped on glass. If y'all notice, if y'all know the whole story, even about the medical, the doctors, it was 2 doctors that examined her. The first doctor said it looked like she stepped on glass, and then they found out that she went to another doctor, and the other doctor has been associated with Rock Nation and all of that, and that's part of the reason why Tory Lanez said it was a setup, because that doctor has said it was bullet fragments in her foot.
Yep. But just like I said, the stabbing alone, just going back to that, I just don't see him having any severe interaction where this goes up the flagpole and everybody says, hit him. What offense would, because
why at the same, from your logic, where you saying he not from here, why would he have to get that type of clearance? He's not from here.
That is true as well. But because he's black, because I think when you're going is politics, and especially California, the Latinos, whites, is very race oriented. Like, you're going to be with your people. Whether you
when I see a Mexican, it kind of makes sense, because Mexicans like all this, Snoop Dogg and somebody else that came up with a song a long time ago called Vato, because there was a lot of beef between Hispanics and black people. It's weird that how so many black people in our community want to be cool and invite everybody to the cookout when nobody likes us. And that's why I say, if you think that he doesn't have any basically affiliation in this prison to anybody not gang related from Canada, got money, does music, he should be insulated. It wouldn't be no reason to stab him. With that same, like I said, the same thing that you said, is more of a reason for me to be like, well, he ain't tied to nobody, he ain't gang affiliated. There's no reason for him not to get poked up.
And he the money. They already said he in to take care of the book. So let's say I'm in here, I'm a lifer or whatever. This man feeding me for protection. If you take him out, I ain't got the money. So you see what I'm saying? I'm gonna get word that, hey, you finna hit my guy. It's because that's how they operate. It's gonna be, it gotta go out. It's not gonna be random, because the opportunity has to be present.
But that we assuming that he got money. And the reason that I said we assuming, and I said this, and I heard Joe Budden say this after I had said it, he was dropping so much music, it seemed as if his pockets was getting ate up legally by legal fees. So the amount of music that he would drop music like every 6 months. I'm like, damn, this nigga really dropping music like crazy. Like, he trying to stack his bread and run a checkup, to fight what's going on. So for you to think, we just assume a lot of this is this assumption. So we're assuming that he has enough bread to not get poked up.
I'm gonna say that. I would say, because bread is relative, right? Let's say he a millionaire, so he probably spent a couple $100,000 on his counsel, but I only really need to put $3,000 on you, $4,000 on your books, $28,000. He got that. I got 5 people.
So you think 28,000 gonna take him far in jail?
Yeah. For people that ain't got nothing, again, you got people a lot, and I watch a lot of prison documentaries and just interviews. They say people find jobs under other guys with money. I do they laundry, and they ain't getting nothing. They getting pennies, but because they don't have anyone to on the outside sending them money, a little is a lot. So a couple $100 will get you touched. $50 will get you touched. 2 soups. I ain't got nothing. I don't have nobody. Tory Lanez had enough to say, hey, I'm gonna take care of you. Couple $100, couple $1,000. He got that.
It just depends, because like I said, I don't know what the going rate of protection in prison would be, because it would be crazy for me to think I got this dude that's a couple. Let's say I assume that he got at least $1 million, and you just come in, you think you just finna buy me some chips, and you finna, that'd be kind of crazy.
Again, I have nobody, nothing. Ain't nobody putting money on my books. I have nothing.
But at the same time, this could be my one, because I'm a lifer.
And I ain't got nobody.
You getting out in 10, maybe 8 if you be good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So now I gotta come up. I'm a lifer. So the prize gotta be good for to take me on out to this bitch. And that the dude that stabbed him got 70 more years of that bitch.
Yeah.
That ain't no old nigga. That's probably the same age as Tory. So he at least got 60, 70 more years in prison.
That's why I say
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it ain't gonna be no cup of soup, even though I ain't got nothing. You gotta make this shit worth it, nigga. You finna get out here 8. I got 70 more in this bitch.
Yeah. So, but if I'm putting this book money on your book, this gonna stack up. So after I leave, hey, you gonna have a nice little cushion when I leave, and the fact that no repercussions, because to hit somebody 14 times, they conjure up an opportunity. Hey, we're gonna bring the guard over here. We're gonna have you over here so you can do your work. The fact that nobody, black or other, intervened and even hit him back.
Did you know how fast you can stab somebody 14 times?
Again, but the opportunity for you, because a lot of times they're not even intermingling unless it's business. Where the Mexicans over here, they're very segregated.
Like I said, I don't know, because when I watch prison documentaries and shit, everybody be on the yard though.
Yeah, but they're still in their packs.
Right,
you got to get through for people to come to me. You telling me you gonna get through this crowd that I didn't put book money on and hit me, and nothing happens to you after you do it? Nothing.
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know the lay of the land. I'm a son. I ain't never been to prison.
Yeah, we speculating, but I watch a lot of these documentaries, and I follow a lot of people. They say, and they explain exactly how it is, especially in California prison. Say it's very segregated. A lot of times they're not even sitting at the same table. The yard, the people over here, you got to come through 6 of my guys to get to me. And you telling me my 6 gonna stand there and watch me get poked up like this, and nothing happens to him? Nothing. I gotta call bullshit.
But then we don't know if nothing happened to him though.
What was that? I think that was a recent mugshot.
I don't know if that's a post stabbing mugshot though.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't either, but I think it was.
That's what I'm saying.
Because you get charged with a new crime.
Like I said, I don't know.
Yeah, but you get charged.
If that's a post stabbing mugshot, we still can't say that he didn't get roughed up, he didn't get beat up or nothing like that. We can't say that. And then we don't know how fast the guards got in to break it up. So, like I said, a lot of this is speculation in the sense of we don't know. He could have got touched up.
He could have, but I'm just going by what they put out. It don't show any reports of him getting roughed up, no reports of retaliation, no reports of.
Well, I ain't read no report.
Any intervention. So
I'm just going by like the news reports.
Yeah.
And like typically when you see people get stabbed or say somebody got assaulted in jail or something like that, when they say R. Kelly got beat up in jail, like they don't never talk about the person, the culprit that does it. Yeah. They never talk about them getting beat up. So I don't think that's just something they put in. Well, can we talk about the culprit? What did happen to him? Did he get, put in, solitary confinement? Did he get extra charges? Does he have a new trial? Like, what was the reason? Like, they never talk about the person that did it. They always talk about the bigger name and what happened to them. So I've never seen where they talk about, well, after R. Kelly got his ass beat up, they beat the shit out the nigga that stabbed him or beat him up. You don't know, see that.
Yeah, I think, like I said, we're gonna have to wait for some more information to come out about it. But like I said, this is speculation just from my research, because I follow and I've listened and looked at a lot of interviews with ex-cons and people behind the wall, and they break it down to the T on how everything works. If you want to do this, you got to go through this. It's very political in the prison. It's way more political in there than on the outside world.
Yeah, I agree.
You want to go to the next one and get to some callers?
Yeah, if y'all want to call in, y'all can go and call in right now.
The number is at the bottom. You're going to see it scrolling. Shout out to everybody who's viewing. Make sure you like the page, share the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're out. This is our Outrage Wednesday take. A lot of it's just a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot. We got so much stuff that we want to cover. It's just hard to pick. And but this next one, this is something that I have not seen on any major headline or news outlet. This has all been via social media, Instagram videos, in the just reporting on what was happening for those that were at this event. So
why you think you ain't seen the reports on it?
Because it was in a very I would say a fearful message to show black folks ain't playing with y'all ass no more.
Yeah.
And I ain't seen it on no news outlet, but you see this video. So how can I see this video that we about to play, but ain't no news outlet covering the report? And you see the police in the video. You see the police there.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody. This ain't on NBC, Fox. It ain't on nothing.
I agree.
Music, because not JD. I can't think of it. Young and Ace. That's who song playing. Young and Ace. He from Florida. But you got a few KKK hooded white men go to a event in Atlanta, in an Atlanta neighborhood, in the KKK uniform, and was unalive, presumably. This, and I searched high and low. I have not seen one news article that are covering who these men were, what transpired, anything of that nature. I have not seen that yet. and it is a reason as to why.
Why
And
you
I
think it is?
believe you have black people sending a message saying you ain't just gonna come and intimidate me. We had the issue in Ohio with the Nazis on the freeway, but they got into it.
Now they got the black militia out there. They got like a little black militia out there now.
Exactly. So if you they would have put, that's why I say media is one of the most powerful things that is used from a political, spiritual, everything that we do in life. You're gonna have media that's either fueling or taken away. Used as a you're gonna use it as a tool or a weapon. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So to put this out mainstream and it showed these KKK quote unquote allegedly went into this park thinking they're going to intimidate some black people, and the black people, respond in a manner that they didn't expect. It will send a message and a ripple effect. You know what?
What the hell happened?
I don't know what happened.
I hope my damn computer ain't died. Hold on.
You still show we live, right? Yeah. Oh, there we go. So, like I said, it'll send a message, a ripple effect saying, hey, you don't have to be scared. You don't have to be in fear, because one thing we can say about the KKK versus every other organization, why we ain't never seen a RICO with the KKK?
We haven't, but they have been labeled a terrorist group now by Donald Trump.
Yeah, they have that, but why we haven't seen them taken down
Well,
the same way they would do YSLs?
You know why though?
Yeah, I know why, but
I'm not. I don't even talk about just because of racism and white. Yeah. I'm talking about that's the reason why they wear hoods, because they are the people that will bring the charge. They are the district attorneys. They are the judges. They are the police force. These are the people that have to actually bring the charge. I'm not going to bring charges against myself. Yeah. So that's why we never seen those things actually happen. But if you're associated with that, with being a KKK member, I don't care what state you're in, all of y'all should be put in a RICO. It should be a nationwide RICO case against y'all. Y'all done some of the most evil shit that's unfathomable, that burning crosses, hanging motherfuckers, doing shit to kids, raping people. Like, y'all done some evil fucking shit.
And that's why I say if black people was to get together and say, hey, we want to do our own third party investigation. We have our, we got the same setup as your police force. Yeah. We got the same resource. We got the same intelligence. These people went to school for this the same way your people did. We want to overview or do a review of your investigation of this to make sure you did it right. Because a lot of these cases where they say, well, how you beat that case? Well, how this case get thrown out? Well, how you got all these faults in these cases where a lot of guilty parties go free, and we see a lot of innocent parties go to jail. So we need to have a checks and balances and say, hey, the same way you can come review our books, review our processes, and etc., we want to do the same. And we're legit. We're not, ill will. We just want to make sure everything is on the up and up. So we do the investigation, say, well, they mean today, and we catch them and come out. We pull up with the SWAT vans. We pull up with this and say, hey, take them hoods off. And we got to start doing the ID. We got this ID. Oh, this judge such and such. Oh, this is Senator such and such son. Oh, this is the mayor's cut. You see what I'm saying? We start identifying and say, hey, y'all the motherfuckers who've been causing all this shit. Right. But we don't have that.
Yeah, like I said, I think especially now, even if you were, I'm not even saying like a prank, I don't want to know the correct word, but even if you are two white men that just thought you could just walk around with Klan masks in today's climate, how racially charged people are, how people are having a talk. We just talked about it Monday, talk about black fatigue and shit like that. It is crazy for you and absent-minded of you to think that you just gonna be able to walk out here with this mask on and think everything gonna be sweet. And then it ain't number two of y'all. I see if it was maybe like how they had all them people on the bridge, that make more sense. But just two of y'all with Klan mask on at a black event, and you just think you ain't finna, nothing finna happen to you. Yeah. And see, that go back to they talk about black fatigue. That go back to my part of white audacity. Yeah, for you to just think that you can do something like that and what that hood represents, and you could be out here walking and you think nothing gonna happen. You think you finna make it home safe, and y'all think y'all finna bitch us in front of our. You gotta think about that. This is a family event. You think you finna come and bitch us in front of our women like that?
And the same thing with the shallow chick, where she could say, well, I'm just gonna make it regular or normal that we can call y'all the N-word. Yeah. In front of a black man, Mark Lamont here on this panel, Piers Morgan antagonized. Like, y'all think y'all slick because what it is, it's an agenda to, if we degrade and lower the class of black people, the treatment that black people would get from that would be acceptable. Well, look how they acting. Look at the stigmas. Look at the stereotypes. Because all black people are not the same. That's why I say it's a subsect. But we're gonna get the brunt of it as a collective because we all look alike. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? So
and see, that's the fucked up part about it. But then that's also come with protection too.
Yeah.
Because if I see a snake, I ain't trying to sit there and wait on to see if it's venomous or not.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm gonna try to kill it because it's a snake.
Yeah.
In my mind, I ain't trained well enough to know how snakes look, patterns, head shapes. Now I know a little bit of stuff because I watched animal shit, so I know that's how you dictate. But I'm not finna sit there and you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think when it comes to if you feel a ways about black people and you got this mindset of this racist viewpoint or this stereotypical viewpoint of black people, you're gonna treat everybody the same because you don't have time to sit there. Oh, hey, how you doing? What's your name? Where you going? What school you went to? What's your educational level? How did you feel about X, Y, and Z? I don't have time to really just sort that out. So I'm gonna just hit y'all with a broad brush and be done with it.
Yep.
And like I said, that's just nature. That's just natural for pretty much everybody to treat people like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If I see a group of niggas, I ain't gonna lie, if I see a group of niggas right now with shiesty mask on, kind of gonna go the other way.
Yeah.
You know, so it just is what it is. Like I said, the KKK shit is weird. I honestly thought we was done seeing KKK.
You'll never be done seeing a group that has been around that long. Unless it's direct force on neutralizing, because you look at propaganda, right? You go back to 9/11, you go back to World War II. Mm-hmm. They had the presumed enemy plastered everywhere. Mm-hmm. Oh, Bin Laden,
yeah,
the other guy, Saddam Hussein, weapons, but you ain't got the Grand Wizard of the KKK plastered everywhere.
Right,
you ain't got them plastered everywhere. So now, unless it's like I said, directly neutralize and say, hey, we're gonna disband them. And even if you do it, you cut off. It's an octopus. You cut off one leg, it's another one there.
Yeah,
because you got KKK, you got the Nines, you got the the Proud Boys.
Yeah,
you got a bunch of different subsects with same ideologies, but under different branding.
Is the Proud Boys like that? They believe in.
I don't know if it's the Proud, but I know it was another group. I forgot what it's called. It wasn't Antifa.
Let me see what the Proud Boys think, because I
don't know if it was the Proud Boys that was under that same umbrella, but I know you got different groups under the KKK that have the same beliefs, same methods, same structure.
It's this from George Washington University about the Proud Boys. It says overview. The Proud Boys is a far-right neo-fascist organization founded by Gavin McInnes, I guess I spell it, in 2016, formed just before the 2016 presidential election. The Proud Boys rose to national attention as a result of their repeated violent confrontation with anti-fascist groups during protests on college campuses and during the summer of 2020 Black Lives Matter protests. The organization's membership is open exclusively to men, recruiting potential members by appealing to what they perceive as the erosion of Western culture by feminists, socialists, immigrants, and the LGBTQ plus community in an ultimate plot to oppress men. According to Samantha Kuttner, the Proud Boys use the coded term Western chauvinism as a code for white multiculturalism reinterpreted as white genocide, and caustic label given to feminists and civil rights activists to mark them as opposition.
Okay, so they not directly KKK, but they got their own ideology, which could align with some of the KKK views, because they say immigrants, which mean non-white.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's just a slippery slope with if the KKK, because if it go away, you're just gonna, whatever members are left, they're just gonna go and form or join with other organizations, or they're just gonna form new organizations, which may just be under a different brand.
It's just, to me, I'm reading more. It's really just another hate group.
Yeah,
much of the Proud Boys' ideology revolves around what they describe as Western chauvinism, or the claim that Western civilization stands superior to that of others, such as Islamic or non-American and non-European cultures. Furthermore, the group emphasizes traditional gender roles for men and women and stands in strong opposition of feminism, LGBTQ rights, and the other social justice movements they perceive as threats to traditional masculinity. Other aspects of the group ideological violence, often engage in street brawls with leftists and anti-fascist protests, and donning shirts praising the murder of leftists by former Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet. I don't even know who that is.
Yeah, so like I said, just another hate group, but they just want family structure back, but it's still hate to everybody that ain't white and traditional like I am.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that basically it. When they say Western culture is superior, I'm just
it's a supremacy mindset.
Yeah,
that's
the same shit.
But yeah, this is very interesting, like I said, because I have not seen. I'm gonna follow this as well to see if any updates come.
How long ago this happened?
This happened last weekend.
Okay, last weekend. So we about a week now.
Glenwood Day.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's a community in Atlanta.
Oh, we gotta talk about Twitter or X.
What happened with Twitter? What?
And how it seemed like. See, I'm late to X or Twitter, but you know, people used to always say Twitter is like the new is the news source before the news.
Oh, it go to Twitter before it go anywhere.
Like so, like even that story that you talk about, the KKK.
Yeah, that
was on Twitter. You said you got it from Twitter, right?
Yeah.
The video I just showed you with the white lady, that was on X. Like a lot of stuff that we're seeing on X, that I see on X, especially political, all the little clips of Donald Trump, all the clips of them deporting people and gun violence. Like I said that video, y'all. You seen that video?
Which one?
That dude was running trying to get away and was getting shot in the group message. Oh man,
we sent so many videos.
But this is in the message. There's only one video in the message.
I don't know if I saw that one. Oh, in the text message.
Yeah.
I don't know if I saw that one.
He was running and the kids got in front. He knocked him down. The dude was chasing him down, and then he tried to like dodge up under the kids.
Yeah.
And the dude had to reach around and start shooting him on the ground and stuff like that. He tried to use the kids as a shield.
That's crazy. Oh yeah, I saw the response, but I didn't get a chance to watch it because I saw y'all responding to it. Yeah.
Like I said, and you know what's crazy about stuff? I can see murders on Twitter. I can see porn on X. I can see somebody get their head split from falling off a 50-story window. But if you say the wrong thing, they still take your shit. That's supposed to be speech-free platform. And like the stuff we talk about, like our last scream not being up. Mm-hmm. What's that about? We didn't say nothing crazy. We didn't talk about the tiny hats. Like we didn't talk about anything.
I don't know, man. It's like I said, it's just too much control. They can say, hey, I don't like that. You said this because you don't know who's. They should have such and such reviewed your account and and you should be able to speak directly with them because they got so many people working for them. And now I think what they're doing is system generated reviews or audits where it just go through a system and say, well, we found trigger words that made us take it down. Yeah. Or we found this and we made us take it down.
And see, it should be a human review of each thing, and that person should be vetted to make sure they're not biased on certain things.
Like, yeah, I agree.
Like if they're not vetted, because you got to think about it, a lot of people livelihoods get taken away.
That's true.
From you saying the wrong thing, and then you don't want to be like other countries where you say the wrong thing, now your ass in jail. Mm-hmm. Now you're in prison for life because you spoke against the government. That's one good thing about America, and one bad thing about America is that we can't speak about our government. We can say stuff about our president and everything like that. Yeah. People have actually threatened our president. It's actually illegal. Like you could go to jail for threatening our president. That's a legal thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But people still do it, and no ramifications, no repercussions, or nothing, depending on what side of the aisle you lean on, right?
Thanks.
And so you don't never want to be on that side where they can just put you in jail for whatever. Like I don't never want to experience any of that.
False imprisonment because you don't like my opinion. That's insane.
And then, like I said, on the flip side of it, a lot of people was in the slow class. We got a lot of people out here telling us their opinions, and they really don't know shit. All they good for is laying on their back and having babies. That's really what they meant for. But we allow a lot of people to get out here, speak on stuff they have no expertise in, they ain't research, they can't read or any of that shit. So, like I said, we got a lot of bullshit that be going on in America that we need to call, like even to vote. I think we should have testing for voting. Yeah.
You see it run. Okay. Anybody want to call in? The number is at the bottom as we wind down our Outrage Wednesday segment. Shout out to everybody who's tuned in from Twitter, Rumble, YouTube, Facebook. How many people we got? 237? Yeah. 237 people took their time out to view and
watch us today. Y'all make sure y'all like the video. Like I said, repost the video, reshare the video.
Drop a comment. What you think about the Diddy case, the Tory Lanez? Do you think that came from outside? You think it was a hit? I like I say, I always have my conspiracy snapback. You know, I keep that because I don't believe in coincidence. Out of you telling me this person just get hit 14 times and nah, we gotta see what's going on with that. But we'll never know. All of this is speculation and alleged, allegedly, because we don't have a lot of stuff we have. We don't have all the facts, but we have a little bit of the facts. And we just go on that.
So what we got for Saturday?
We got a couple things. I think I want to discuss the consent. I do want to discuss consent, and I also want to discuss. I think we got about 3 legs we want to put on it. Who's responsible if the relationship for is that a thing? Because we got the young lady who's suing her ex for wasting her time.
Okay.
Now, who's responsible if the relationship doesn't pan out? And also, why is there no shame in divorcing nowadays? It's applauded. Well, where's the shame?
Like you break about Cardi B and all that shit too.
Yeah, you
popping out her new nigga.
Yeah, popping out is this. Hey, I want to show. Let me make sure I pop out first to show you my new boo, to show he just as fine as you or got more money than you. And people applaud that, mostly women. Yeah. They love seeing the woman who's got cheated on or whatever the case may be pop out versus taking that time and say, well, you know what, take you some time and heal from that trauma. Because if the way she was going on live, she crying, all this tears. Babe, you don't need another man. Right. You need some time to yourself.
You need time to heal, not feel. That's what you need.
So,
like I said, what I always say, 2 + 2 never equal logic with women. Yeah. Like they always gotta get back on the car carousel of the baloney pony. They have to do that. Like they dope themselves up. They use dick to get over another dick. And I think that's so stupid and it's dumb, and you just continue in the cycle.
And it's possible because rebounds, I've done the research and I've personally and just from observing, rebounds never last.
No, of course not.
90% of rebounds are just they're temporary. Temporary fix. But a Band-Aid. It's a temporary fix. It's not going to last in a lot of cases. When you get the rebound, you just enjoy that time and move on.
Yeah. It's like a crack hit. You just know, just line up your spoon to get your little fix right now.
Line up your spoon. But if we don't have any callers, like I said, we want to thank you for tuning in. Or you want to give them a little bit more time?
We can get on up out of here. Like I said, I'll wait on some people to call in, but from the looks of things right now, we don't have anybody calling in. But like I said, y'all make sure y'all like the video. Make sure you subscribe to all social media platforms, the New Normal Podcast. Y'all make sure y'all share the video, repost it, give us your thoughts in the comment section, and make sure y'all follow us on X, Rumble, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, the New Normal Podcast.
And we'll be back Saturday, around 8 p.m., 8:30 for our Saturday night live stream. We got a few guests coming on.
Yeah, we got a few guests.
You ladies gonna come and join the conversation. If you want to be a part of the panels or join in on one of our segments, just send us a DM on any of the social media platforms and we'll schedule it.
It's a New Normal Podcast, and we're gone. Peace.